Hi, my name is Pranav, and welcome to Ignited Minds. In this episode of our podcast, we delve into the world of civil and environmental engineering. We'll be speaking with a seasoned professional who has dedicated 23 years to this field and gained valuable insights along the way. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Pranav. My name is Maheshwar Mettu. I am a professional licensed civil engineer in California, and I practice in the fields of civil and environmental engineering, and primarily in California.
Can you tell us more about your overall journey as a civil engineer and any experiences that have shaped your career?
Yeah, as a teen, growing up in India, primarily we were kind of very much involved, engaged with maths, mathematics and physics. And as we were, to be honest with you, I was not planning to do engineering per se, but I ended up in finishing my engineering. And during my bachelor's, that is when I really found a little bit of my interest in the field of civil engineering. And that kind of gave me impetus to do more of the education. So that's where I applied for masters and came to United States to pursue my masters. I pursued my masters in University of New Orleans in the field of civil and environmental engineering, and that's where I was exposed to the fields of water resources, in-depth understanding on contaminated land management, remediation, kind of like those fields. Once I graduated, that's when I landed in the field of solving the real world problems. Uh, and that's where I moved to California, and that's where started working since then. And it's about 23 years now. And in between that time, I received my professional licensure in California, which kind of is kind of a good attestment and requirement for doing complex civil and environmental projects.
So it seems like you've been working across wide ranges of geographic backgrounds and also with different scientific disciplines. And this approach is crucial for complex challenges related to environmental sustainability. And you also mentioned that you worked across geographic backgrounds. Could you maybe elaborate on any specific projects or challenges that you've faced with this idea?
Right, right. So, just to give you a simple sample example, if you take any contaminated land site that has a problem of in the soil, meaning contaminated soil and the groundwater. I'm an engineer by education. I kind of have to work with various fields of technical folks like geologists, hydrogeologists who are focused on soil and water. And then there are some other folks, technicians who go and grab the field data. So there are during the life cycle of the project, you deal with different skill set of people, and thereby you contribute your technical approach towards them, and you grow into them, and thereby you're solving problems as a you problem solve the problem as in a step approach. You kind of try to understand what actually the problem is, and you take the help of different departments like the geologist, hydrogeologist, as I mentioned earlier. Then you design a approach to understand the problem in a deeper sense, and once you understand the problem, you propose a solution. And when you propose a solution there, if it's an engineered solution, you design a treatment system to treat the soil or to treat the groundwater. And then you approach and take the help of other hydrogeologists and hydrologists on how to manage. If you extract groundwater, for example, you treat it. Hey, what do we do with the treated water? Can we reuse it? Can we use it for landscaping, or can we put it back into the ground? So for those things, you kind of talk to different sets of technical folks, take their technical guidance and implementing a project for the betterment of the land. Technically, it's called remediation.
Sounds very interesting. You mentioned you worked on contaminated sites and investigations, and this must be like a dangerous process. How do you think like using different sensors or robots, this could maybe be made safer or more effective for remediation efforts?
Very true, very true. The all the contaminated. That's why the we are treating that. We're treating them to be better for our environment, right? The contaminated land and the groundwater. We use a lot of these sensors primarily to understand the data, remediate it, and understand the process of remediation, how the remediation is progressing, right? And then we use these technologies to see. It's all about time, how soon we can implement our what you call our remediation technology to treat the soil and groundwater, right? So if we use a technology, if it's going to treat in 10 years or is it going to treat in 5 years, how do we prove it? See,
Mm.
I say technically you can put it on the paper, but you have to prove it, right? So you prove it by collecting the data, and the data has to be defensible. So with this new technologies and the sensors, the role of collecting the data, managing the data, showing it in graphs, seeing live has provided a big impetus to these projects.
Yeah, that sounds very interesting, and must be a lot of help to having so many different sensors that can give you live data, and it's a lot easier to work with.
Very
Uh,
true. Very true.
Sustainable materials have also been gaining importance in your field. So, how do you think that these might impact infrastructure projects in the future?
Yeah, no, there are, just to give you a simple example of the eco-friendly and sustainable material in treating the soil and soil remediation or contaminated soil is it's called phytoremediation, meaning phyto meaning plants. They put these big plants in the soil that over a period of time treat the contaminated land. So
Mhm.
that's one form of the eco-friendly. You're not creating any new chemicals, but you're trying to actually remediate that place by putting the natural for naturally available materials and that are eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Sustainable practices include, as I said, if you're treating groundwater, hey, you're treating groundwater, you have to make some use of it once it's treated, not just put it to the drain, right? Like put it to a landscape or put it to the land areas where, it is not for portable purposes, but for other local purposes that may be according to the local requirements.
Yeah, that must be a lot more helpful than using different chemical-based
Yeah.
remediation efforts. Uh, how have you maybe have seen the change between chemically made remediation efforts versus more natural options?
Yeah, chemical-based remediation is still a primary form of remediation. However, with the advent of newer technologies, with the advent of newer materials, there are a lot of newer eco-friendly materials that are currently being used, like zero valent iron or like other like the coconut shell, the carbon materials that we use in our typical water processing filtration systems. Those are being used to kind of support the remediation process or treatment of the soil process.
How do you see any future changes to this technology to create even more environmentally friendly solutions to develop?
Yeah, currently the technologies. She asked me what is one thing that is can be improved in this technology is the time frame. Currently, for simple, I'm just taking just a example on the spot. For to generally treat a contaminated soil, it takes about anywhere between 5 to 10 years a
Mm.
site. To me, that seems like it's a long time.
Yeah.
So I would like to see. I guess there are already a lot of research going on and work is going on to reduce the time period so that it can reduce the time, but also can be an effective treatment.
Mm.
so that the land can be reused or the water can be reused, kind of thing, for to a safer level.
Have you seen any new environment, like new emerging technologies specifically to help impact this industry?
Yeah, there are, there are a lot of, so the contamination is typically based on type of the contaminant. So right now, I'm sure you must have heard of these forever chemicals. That is
Mm.
one of the currently hot topic in our industry. These are, and so there are a lot of these new technologies. People are doing these feasibility studies at the moment to see their effectiveness, their implementability, their cost benefit kind of thing. So in terms of the technologies wise, even in the existing technologies, we are trying to optimize with the advent of these new, with the advent of new software systems, new sensors. We are by using these things, we are able to see and feel, see and make those changes to the systems sooner, thereby reducing the time making these decisions in real time as well.
So, given all this experience that you've gained, what advice would you give to younger engineers or environmentalists who are interested in maybe developing this technology and addressing environmental issues as well?
Oh, the younger, the advice. It's a very good question, Pranav. The simplest answer is, there is the field is very vast. Uh,
Mhm.
the breadth of knowledge is pretty good there. Once if you're in the field of this environmental engineering, you want to explore yourself to different breadths as much as you can. Learn different angles, learn different. Do not hesitate to what do you call express your background. Um, so a lot of younger in my office, we have a lot of these once a month calls where younger roles, and we give them the opportunity to say, what is one thing you want to change in the current project? That is up to, it's not because it's going good or bad. What is one thing they want to change? And most of the people are empowered to provide, because we are all educated and we have all thought process. There's nothing right or wrong. We just take the thought and discuss and learn pros and cons about those thoughts. Feel free to express.
Yeah, getting new ideas, especially from
Yes.
younger or different backgrounds, could definitely help in so many different ways, such as just getting like personal experience from people who have been impacted. So finally, what are your aspirations and goals for the future in terms of addressing these environmental issues and both locally and on a global scale?
Yeah, one of the my personally every time every year I make this goal. Okay, I want to do three things. I pick up three things every year. What I want to do. So this year, my three things are this year meaning 2023 and 2024. I'm going to share it like that. Is you know there is this ESG, environmental, social governance, that is the current buzzword. It's not only a buzzword, but it is across different corporates. It is across different agencies as well. So it's not only just for shareholders, but has to have a meaning, a value to the clients. So my goal is to provide the clients that support. For example, currently California is going towards electrification. So I am advocating and consulting and providing my recommendations to clients to electrify their fleets, for example,
Mhm.
um, or electrify their facilities. It is not going to happen just like that, meaning in 2 months or 6 months. They have to plan for it. It's infrastructure, it's vehicles, it's expense to the client. So that's one. Personally, I want to still kind of, as I said, as a tell to any junior engineer, I like to explore myself into other technologies as well. I know I initially mentioned I would like to. We still use a lot of chemically driven technologies as well. My my experience in that is limited, and I am trying to explore different chemicals where I am reducing the usage of chemicals, but kind of providing the optimal performance of my projects as well.
Yeah, thank you so
And
much for
yeah,
sharing your experiences. Is there anything else you would like to add?
no, I would like to what you call commend you for doing this, and appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share my field of study. I'm sure you have done good research on me and background questions. I these questions not only kind of give you what I am involved with in my day-to-day life, but also gave me an opportunity to really go back and look and think about it. Thanks for now.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.